All right, so we're here at Tesla Lawrence, and we're going to be doing a quality check with the Model 3. So, without further ado, let's get right to it. All right, so look what we have here. We have ourselves a brand new, already wrapped up Model 3 ready to take delivery. So remember, this is how the car comes. What they do is they plastic wrap the front, plastic wrap the sides, and this is for protection during transportation. They don't want any rock chips or any problems on the vehicle, so they try to package it up. So let's first off start by examining the left side. And let's take a look at the front. And we're definitely off to a good start. So let's take a look at the right side. Let's take a look at this VIN right here. And let's take a look at the wheels. Let's take a look at the glass roof. And let's take a look at the interior. And this is the blue with the white interior. A very beautiful combination. And as you'll know, many of you see the new center console with the all wrap around. And that is something that you'll be getting once you order a Model 3. New things that come with the Model 3 is the new center console, the new heated steering wheel, and basically we're ready to go. So let's look at the driver's side door. And there's nothing that catches our eye so far. So let's look at the side here. And let's do the door test to see if it's flush. And guess what, guys? It's flush, so 2 thumbs up. Let's do a check on the rear side, and it's flush. And we're off to a good start. I know it's a little bit dark, but don't worry. We're here to do a quality check, and I can tell you I can see any imperfection. So let's look over here, and there's no issues over here. Let's look at the trunk. There's no issues over there. Let's take a look at the rear. And it's still beautiful. So let's take a look right over here. And what we want to see is a gap that's very consistent and very tight. We want to make sure that each panel lines up and each panel meets up. So let's do the test on the right side rear door to see if it's flush. And Tesla has been building the Model 3 for about 4 to 5 years now. So I can tell you they figured out how to manufacture this vehicle at the best quality. They're able to produce a Model 3 in about less than 3 hours from start to finish. And I can tell you these cars are flying like hotcakes. They're basically selling them faster than they can produce them. That's why many of you may know that there's a delivery delay on a lot of orders right now, and many of you are seeing delivery dates get pushed about a month, and some of you have seen it pushed about 2 months, and that's because the demand is very high. So I can assure you that this Model 3 does get a thumbs up, does get a pass, and I would definitely be happy to accept this Model 3. I haven't seen any imperfections or any defects on this Model 3. So let's move on to another Model 3. All right, we have ourselves another Model 3. And this color is the all black Model 3 with the black interior. And this one is also just been dropped off. It has a plastic wrap for the front, and that is to protect the bumper of any rock chips during transportation, the same as they did on the other vehicle. So let's look at the left side, and let's examine this on the right side. And we're definitely off to a good start. Remember, this is not a color this is not 2 different colors. This is just plastic. So you don't even look at that. That peels off, and there's a black bumper underneath. So let's look at the right side, and we're definitely off to a good start. So let's take a look at the VIN. And let's take a look at the rims. Let's take a look at the glass roof. And let's take a look at the driver's side door. And what we're looking for is a consistent space and gap between all the panels. And I can assure you that this is what I'm seeing. So definitely am very excited to say that this Model 3, so far, it looks like it's a flawless. So this door and this door meets up, and that means it flush. So let's do it the same test for the rear door. We want to run our finger from one panel to the other to make sure that it's flush. And let's look at this gap right here. And so far, we're off to a good start. So this is great. And you've noticed that they've also wrapped the back in plastic in order to add a protection. And I'm really glad that Tesla does wrap every single, the back and the front panels. And that's something that's very good, because you don't want it to get damaged while it's being transported. And that has happened. There is vehicles that have been when during transportation, there's been a rock that hit it and it caused a lot of problems. So let's move on to the right side over here. And that's what we want to see. So let's look at this panel over here. And let's check if the door is flush over here. And what we want to see is when we rub our finger from this panel to this panel, we want it to be flush. And I can assure you that it's flush. All right. So, yeah, this is flush. So this Model 3, even though it's a little bit dirty, I can assure you by the time it takes delivery, what they're going to do is clean it, buff it, and have it nice and prepped for you. And there's one thing that I would also want to bring to your attention. If you're thinking about getting PPF on your vehicle, I highly recommend that you get PPF on the front bumper and on the back bumper. If you decide to get the car fully PPF'd, that would give you that added layer protection. And because I can tell you, there's one thing that's definitely going to happen with your vehicle is that you are going to get rock chips. That is something that you cannot think that you're not getting. You have to expect rock chips. Like it's in the beginning. I started to see more and more rock chips on my vehicle, and now I'm just used to it. And if you decide to get paint protection film, it is a little bit pricey. It could run you anywhere up to like $3,000 to $4,000 to get your whole car PPF'd. But if you don't want to pay that $3,000 to $4,000, I would highly recommend you do it on the back bumper and on the front bumper. So so let's go check another Model 3 and see if the build quality matches up. So far, this one gets also a thumbs up. So let's move on to our third and final last Model 3. All right, we got ourselves another Model 3, and this is our last Model 3. So let's start off by examining the left side, looking at the hood. And many of you may know, if you're ordering the Model 3, you're most likely going to get the new projector headlights on all versions. So moving on to the right side, let's check the VIN right here. Let's move to the driver's side. And here's a look at the rims. Here's a look at the glass roof. That's something that you definitely want to examine, because there is a possibility that during transport, a rock could go hit the roof and you might see a chip. And I tell you, it's a lot of money to replace these windows here. It's a very expensive job. I wish that there was an alternative for this, because whenever you're replacing these glass, it can run you up to over $1,000, and it's even more expensive on the Model Y. So let's move on along here to the driver's side door, and let's check this if it's flush. And guess what? It's flush. Oh, this is beautiful. This is what we want to see. We want to see 5-star builds, and we want to see that Tesla has been improving their build, because a lot of you are soon to take delivery, and there's something a lot of you are asking, is the quality getting better? And I would say yes, it is. Definitely is. Are they 100%? No. Are there still more imperfections on these cars? Yes. So that's why you have to make sure you do your due diligence and check every single panel and make sure that you inspect your vehicle. It's sad that we have to do this all the time, but it's something that I highly recommend new buyers do. Do not get excited. Like, a lot of times we get overly excited and we basically catch all these imperfections on our vehicles, and we find out later that, hey, oh, look at this, look at that, look at this. And in order to avoid that, you want to make sure that you're checking your vehicle, because you want to make sure that it's built to their best of their ability. So this Model 3, I definitely can say, is another great build of a Model 3. I definitely think that if you're in the process of taking delivery of your Model 3 or ordering a Model 3, now's the time to do it. So why don't you go head up to thetesla.com and put yourself in an order for a Tesla Model 3, S, X, or even a Cybertruck. And what I heard is the Cybertruck has 1.3 million pre-orders. Can you believe that? It's going to take Tesla a few years to fulfill that backlog, but it's a good problem to have. You know, it's a good problem to have. It means that there's a lot of demand and there's a lot of future for this vehicle. The Tesla Model Y has taken the crown now as their most produced vehicle, because these Tesla Model Ys, everybody's interested in it because they're the perfect family vehicles. The one thing I would say about the Model 3 is that you are missing room in the back and you are missing room in that trunk. And that's why the Model Y does solve that. So that's all I gotta say. So thank you and have a nice day. Hey, would you like to win a Tesla Model 3? All you have to do is like, share, comment, and subscribe. And one lucky subscriber will win a Tesla Model 3.